Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 horoscope video for the sign of Cancer. So if you are a Cancer or have a Cancer ascendant, this is the video for you. Before I get into the overview of the year for you, Cancer, I just want to let you know that next month, being November, I'm going to be holding a one-day workshop here in Brisbane. So we're going to be exploring all the astrology of 2025 together. So if you are in Brisbane or you can get to Brisbane, I'm going to pop a link in the description below where you can find out more about the workshop and hopefully attend. I know plenty of you are asking, are you going to do something similar online? And yes, I will be doing a webinar of some description online for those who are not in Brisbane or not even in Australia. And of course, if you do want to have a deep dive of the astrology and how it relates to your chart specifically, a reading is the way to do that. And of course, the link to the bookings page on my website is available. Alrighty, so let's have a quick look at the overview of planets for Cancer in 2025. So where are the bulk of the planets going? So by the time we get to mid-year for you, you're going to have Jupiter in Cancer. This is the best cycle. I'm just going to put that out there. So it's a wonderful year in the second half of 2025 and through halfway into 2026. You're going to have Mars start the year in Leo. It will retrograde back into Cancer, and then throughout the year, it's going to get as far as Sagittarius. So, for the most part, a lot of the general thrust or the tone or where the sort of mojo and emphasis is going to be is more to do with themes in your private life, personal development, family, fun, joy. So, it might be slightly less about ambition and achievement and maybe a reorientation of a sense of purpose. Um, Pluto is going to be out of your seventh house for the entire year, which is great news. Of course, the Saturn Neptune co-presence throughout 2025 is going to take place in the 10th house of career for you. And then, of course, we do have Uranus is going to dip his toes into the still waters of the recesses of your mind. So, with that out of the way, let's have a deeper dive into what this is going to mean for you. So, in short, the big news of 2025 for you is the arrival of Jupiter in Cancer from June 10 through to halfway through of 2026. So, this is a year-long cycle where you're really going to sort of get the Midas touch, so to speak. So, this is going to help to expand you, grow you, and blossom into a more authentic version of yourself. You might find it easier in the 12 months from mid-year through to mid of 2026 to get out of your shell a little bit, to chase your dreams and to go after the things that are really important to you. One thing about Jupiter, especially when it's in Cancer, especially when it's in your first house, is that a little bit of effort can go a long way to yield rewards. So sometimes it can be as simple as being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, getting the right connections. That is what it takes to really expand your world and to, grow in whichever way you see fit. Jupiter is a planet of faith, of belief, of optimism. And what it can do in your first house is help you overcome any self-doubt, shyness, and hidden fears, and can help you trust in yourself and elevate you in order to be able to chase a dream, a goal, a desire. So this is going to be a wonderful self-development cycle that's really going to set the stage for the next 12 years of personal growth. And to think about this is to think about what ways did you grow and expand in, say, 2013, 14, when Jupiter was last in Cancer? So, how did you change? How did you grow? And how did your personal perspectives on life really shift due to events that took place then? All that being said, though, the first half of the year is, well, at least the first 4 months of the year do bring a little bit more challenge to the fore. The reason being is that is Mars in Cancer. While Jupiter loves to be in Cancer, Mars is not fond of that position. Although this isn't going to be new energy for you by the time 2025 rolls around, because I'm filming this in October and we're already in Mars in Cancer territory. So Mars will continue on into Leo, and then by the time we get to very early January of 2025, it will slip back into Cancer, and it will stay retrograde in Cancer. And from sort of actually, it starts in Leo in December, and then it will move back into Cancer at pretty much the first few days of the year through until February 2024. February 2024 of 2025. And that is going to see Mars retrograde. So this is going to be a real cutting your teeth type of cycle. This is going to help you overcome challenges, build your confidence, decide what you need to do and do it, as opposed to being reliant on how you feel or what your mood is. So be prepared now, because I'm sure you're watching this before, in advance. So be prepared. January and February are going to be topsy-turvy months for you. You might have days where you're absolutely on fire with motivation, energy, and you're thinking to yourself, Mars retrograde? What Mars retrograde? And then you're going to have days where you're just going to hit that proverbial wall and sort of collapse and, think, oh my God, what's going on? So that's the energy of Mars retrograde. It's these sort of berserko type of energy levels, on fire one day, flat as a tack the next. So do be prepared that energy and outcome are going to fluctuate a lot. And this is just part of the cycle, not a lot we can do about that. However, one thing that's really important to remember, Mars is going to be there till about mid-April, April 17, I think, from the top of my head. The purpose of all this is to help you get away, cut away, burn away, whatever analogy fits, any personal habits, attitudes, outlooks on life that you know are not helping you, that are actually holding you back from the life that you really want. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a bit of a challenge in the first 4 months in particular. But as I said, it's a cutting teeth cycle. There will be obstacles. You'll overcome them. And then there'll be an obstacle and you'll have to overcome that one too. And just when you feel like you're ready to give up, just a couple of months later, Jupiter arrives. So the blessings will come. Okay. So even if you're at your wit's end early in the year, hang in there. You're rewarded for your perseverance by the time Jupiter rolls around in June. Now, career is going to be very different for you in 2025, and this is going to be a year where you can embrace new opportunities for a personal, professional dream. From the 30th of March through until the 22nd of October, you're going to have two cycles. Well, you're going to be introduced to two cycles that are longer running. You're going to be introduced to the 14-year cycle of Neptune in Aries. Now, this is going to be a period of time where you may start to feel a little bit disillusioned by your current career path and wonder, oh, is there something else out there for me? Is there something else that's better for me? You might feel more attracted to pathways that are perhaps a little bit more magical or mystical or have a less practical tone to them. But then on the same token, you're also going to have the energy of Saturn in Aries. And so that is the totally contradictory energy there, where on the one hand, Neptune is asking you, oh, what is possible? Whereas Saturn's going, well, this is probable. So life is going to feel a little bit confusing in terms of career, and that can be the actual work that you do, but it also can speak to your life direction. Where am I going? What am I doing? And sort of the big picture stuff with your life. So I would imagine that because this is an introductory cycle, so Neptune will be in your 10th for the next 14 years, and Saturn's going to be introducing you to the next sort of 2.5-ish years. 2025 might be about you realizing that the current career path or direction that you're on isn't that fulfilling, um, particularly as those new personal desires start to emerge with Jupiter in the first. So, as you're blossoming, as you're expanding, as you're growing, you might be looking at the work that you do and go, surely there's something more out there for me. So, in short, 2025 is really going to give you a sense of shifting professional landscapes. And you might feel that you need to do something that's more aligned with who you are becoming. So, that's some interesting stuff there if you're a Cancer rising. Now, money, of course, everyone likes to know a little bit about money. And probably the big thing for 2025 for you is that Pluto is going to settle into your eighth house for the next 20 years. So, longer term financial security is going to be a little bit more of a focus. You've been testing these waters already since early 2023. This might be debt, mortgages, loans, taxes, wills, situations surrounding death you might need to address, but also to money in partnership. So, whether that's with a spouse, a business partner, or the bank, there's going to be some entanglements and shared stuff to do with wealth, to do with other people in particular. But on the personal income side of things, Mars in Leo for the first time will start from 18th of April through to June 17. Now, this is a once in every 2 year cycle, but this particular cycle is just a touch different because Mars, you got a bit of a taste of that from November 2024 through and into December and very, very, very early January. So by the time we get to April, May, and June, you get to sort of pick up where you left off late in 2024. So over this period of time, of course, you've done a lot of personal growth with Mars in Cancer. You've maybe cleared away some personal habits, overcome some doubt, some insecurities, some fears, for example. And now Mars bursts into your second house and you're more inclined to want to go after what you really want professionally, which often results in cash, right? You want more. You want more money. You might want more recognition. You might want more autonomy and that sort of entrepreneurial spirit there with Mars. Of course, if you're employed, Mars in Leo may inspire you to just simply ask for a raise, getting the confidence to perhaps go up to your boss and say, hey, pay me more. It might be about negotiating a better terms of contract or conditions of contract or salary arrangements or benefits, as you call them in the US, being able to negotiate those types of situations. You might also have the confidence to strike out on your own and earn your own money. So even if you are employed, Mars in Leo is going to inspire you and motivate you to maybe get a sideline business up and running or find some other avenues of income, so income streams. Mars in Leo is your time to set yourself up for the next 2 years. So you might have to kind of go for the jugular a little bit when it comes up, but when it comes around financial goals, cash, and what have you, because Mars will opposite or oppose, I should say, Pluto as well. Just another side note in terms of money is the 18th of July through the 11th of August, you will have a Mercury retrograde there. So that would be a really good time to go through finances, to cross the T's, dot the I's, so to speak, but also look through your logistics, your paperwork, your contracts, or negotiate a better arrangement for yourself during that period of time. Now, relationships are something that most people want to know about when it comes to the year ahead. Relationships are going to be a little bit, well, they're going to feel different in 2025. Reason being, Pluto has said sayonara to your seventh house and the sign of Capricorn for good, finally. Okay, so relationships you can expect to feel a little bit lighter, less intense, less heavy. Okay, so that's a good thing. So you might feel a little bit more free and easy around relationships, around other people than you've had for a long time. I'm not necessarily saying like free and easy, how that might sound, but your energy is going to be lighter. The energy of the relationships that you are involved with, personal, professional, may feel lighter. You might get to just enjoy them for what they are, as opposed to the sort of the intensity that Pluto can bring. What you might find, however, in 2025 is because Saturn is the ruler of your seventh house of relationships, and it's going to go into your 10th house of career for the first time in 30 years, that it's going to be a situation of professional partnerships and work-related relationships may be the ticket there. Or if you're in a business or a job situation where one-on-one clients is a big part of what you do, you might find that that's going to be where the relationship focus lies for you. Now, when it comes to adventure, travel, study, those type of things, Saturn and Neptune are going to start to drift out of that phase of your life and then back in again in 2025. So you're going to start to feel that, if you haven't already, that maybe it's time to broaden your horizons in some way. Because Saturn has been in Pisces for the last couple of years. Neptune's been there since about 2011. But sometimes it's not until these planets start to shift out, we start to go, oh, hang on a minute. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. Keeping in mind that Pisces for you is the sign that represents study, travel, broadening horizons, broadening your perspectives on life, religion, spirituality, your bucket list. I'm not sure if I even said that yet, but that's your time where you might start to feel like you need to commit to some of those things before you run out of that Saturn in Pisces cycle. And what's going to make this and you might be thinking, well, why? If it's leaving, wouldn't I be focusing on the next steps? And yeah, you probably will be. But both Saturn and Neptune will come back into Pisces and your ninth house in 2026. But in 2025, at the beginning, you're also going to have the north node of the moon, move into Pisces on January 12th. So this is going to churn up your hunger, your desire, your ambition to explore. Now, that exploration can be literal, airports and passports, or it can be more metaphysical. Maybe you'll sign up for a course. Maybe you'll study astrology at long last, or maybe you want to understand the mysteries of life a little bit more. You're also going to have two retrograde phases through this part of the sky. And that's going to be Venus retrograde and also a Mercury retrograde. And so it's really from the 27th of March to around the 12th of April that these retrogrades are going to be the most poignant, because these retrogrades, they start in Aries, they go back into Pisces. So you're only getting a partial retrograde in the ninth house there. That being said, it's still going to be significant enough for you to rethink Mercury and reevaluate Venus. What is meaning and purpose for you in life? And as Saturn and Neptune start to make a beeline out of that part of the sky and out of that part of your chart, this year might be the year where you decide to take some things seriously. So, hey, I want to study this thing. Hey, I've always wanted to go to XYZ location and make that happen. Now, all that being said, it could also be a case of, it's a bit cliche, but also enjoying the journey as opposed to the destination. as you know, rather than being sort of hung up on, I have to do this, I have to go that. This is about experiencing it, drinking up the experiences, as I said, whether they're literal or metaphorical. So, enjoy the journey as opposed to just kind of being all one, one-eyed about things. So this is going to be 2025, a little bit of a last ditch opportunity to really commit to something meaningful. For some cancers, that's going to be spirituality, religion. For others, this might be about training. So that you might need to do a course, undergo some training that supports where Saturn and Neptune are going in your 10th house. So you might be disillusioned with your current career path. You decide, right, I'm going to do this. You do some study, and then it leads to a change in your professional life. And it also might be a reevaluation of your bucket list. It might be okay to decide, well, I really wanted to do this thing. Now I don't anymore, and I want to do something else instead. So the eclipses are going to churn that up for you as well. So wherever the nodes go, eclipses follow. And in 2025, it is your third and ninth house that gets activated with eclipses. Still first and, sorry, not first, 10th and 4th, we get the ending of that cycle and the introduction of the other one. If you do want a bit of a deeper dive on the third and ninth houses on this YouTube channel, I uploaded a video a couple of years back now that I did with Adam from Nightlight Astrology, the third houses of meaning and purpose. And so if you're Cancer rising, you'll have eclipses in this part of the sky and the nodes for 18 months. So meaning and purpose is going to really change for you during this period. So if you want more insight into that, I will try and remember, I'll jot that down now, that video, and I can just link it to you so you can see that after this video if you want. All right, lastly, but definitely not least, is Uranus and Gemini. So that's going to be a thing if you're Cancer rising. So from July 7 to November 8, I'm going to call that your mental health months. And I don't like that term, but that's the term I'm choosing because I couldn't think of anything else. This is the beginning again. 2025 for everyone, everywhere. It's sort of this weird energy where you dip your toe in one side and then you go back into the other. You start a new cycle, but you haven't finished the old one. And it is that sort of analogy of you move house, you're excited to have this new beginning, you dump all your stuff in the new house, but then you have to go and clean the old one. So you can't really fully embrace the new cycle until the old one is completed. So 2025 is so much about that, having sort of one foot in one camp and the other one in the other, and trying to manage that. So Uranus and Gemini in your 12th house is probably going to make that dynamic more stressful for you, potentially. It doesn't have to be, though. This introduction of a 7-year cycle is going to shake up your point of view, but on the internal landscape. You're growing, Jupiter in Cancer. Your perspectives on life are shifting and changing with everything I've just explained in the ninth. And then on the inside, there's going to be some very different changes, a lot of new ideas. Your mind is kind of going to be electrified with Uranus. It's almost that stealing the fire from the gods and having some very big psychic insights is very possible for Cancer rising. All that being said, it can bring anxiety, stress, and therefore you need to learn or get curious about more coping mechanisms. So for some, this could be meditation, yoga. For some, it could even be, I don't know, ayahuasca ceremonies or whatever can unlock whatever's trapped within you. You might just need more regular periods of retreat, sabbatical, a hiatus. Maybe it's just more regular weekends away, short trips, but a whole lot less digital. Okay, so you might have to set some rules for yourself that can help you manage whether that's time spent, people call it doom scrolling, but I also wonder, is it hope questing? Anyway, I'll leave that one with you. But it is this idea, maybe you need less time on social media, it's just so you can keep your mind, your channel calm and clear. But be aware of when you need a break, when you need to deload, de-stress, because that's going to be very important for you as that cycle really settles in for you throughout 2026 and then that 7-year cycle. So overall, Jupiter is already there. So you're already starting to expand your horizons in that area. Maybe you're already dabbling in some ideas, philosophies, perspectives that can help you shift or change that mental landscape for you. Maybe just dipping your toe in the water there with Jupiter, and then once Uranus arrives, it's switched on and you're not going to be able to switch it off for some period of time. So Cancers, I hope this has helped you think about 2025 as we very quickly get on, we're looking down the barrel of 2025 already. It's come around super fast. I hope you found this helpful, insightful, and maybe even fractionally entertaining. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.